Welcome back, everybody. Another Tuesday night chat with the Muskrat and this bonehead over here. What do you think about that? In the spirit of Halloween, we decided to have some fun tonight, and we're going to tell some ghost stories or tell some spooky stories or some scary events or some near misses and things like that. I sent a message out to a bunch of people today that I thought had some cool stories to share. And actually, I'm getting ready to drop the link real quick. Let's see if I can find it. And that way, if anybody wants to hop in, they can hop on in today too and hang out with me and share have a little fun. So I'm going to go over and pin that real quick to the top of the chat. And we should have, I forgot. So one of me is bad enough. We don't need more than me. There we go. Pin message. There we go. All right. Mike Greenwell. Hey, Mike Greenwell. He might have a scary story for us too, man. He spends a lot of time on the water. But before we get started, I'll jump back up to the top here and say hello to some folks. I see Sampy was first in here in the house. Well, he was here. I don't know what's going on. It says he was here at 11 p.m. Oh, he was here yesterday. He was early. We got Tommy Long here. Says we do fish where the Mothman brought down the Silver Bridge. But never seen anything that made me think it was real. Yeah, I've heard a lot of the Mothman stories and all that growing up and fishing down in that area, but I'm not so sure I will buy any of it. Bugman 22 is in the house. Let the festivities begin. We got it, buddy. Smoky Mountain Catfishing, welcome in. Crappie Day, Darren. Welcome. Riverettes Catfishing Club. What's up, Michael? How you doing? Hey, Jackie's in the house. Everybody straighten up. She's going to crack a whip. Small Water Charters. John, what's going on? Thanks for stopping in. Appreciate you being here. Stan 3's in the house. What's up, brother? Fat Boy Eric in the house as well. Oh, we got our first guest in the basement. Booyah!
What's up, buddy? I actually fell asleep, but just woke up.
Well,
get up there.
You're just on time.
No,
Lisa's in the house. Pretty Catfishing Lady, what's going on? Jody's in the house as well. Canceled the show tonight. Said she is busy woman. I don't know what she's got going on, but she said she was too busy for us. So it better be important. Let's see who else we got here real quick. Now circle back around. Benoit Fishing's in the house. Hey, Benoit, they also had a birthday today. They're saying Allison had a birthday. Happy birthday, Allison. And Mikey Greenwell had a birthday today as well. So happy birthday to you both. I'm telling you, if it weren't for Facebook, I wouldn't know anyone's birthday, including my own, most likely. Let's see. There you go. Chris, what's going on, buddy? I was actually tying a couple rigs. I got a Operations Vets with Nets mission tomorrow morning. And,
nice.
Tying a couple rigs up for that, and I was watching your throwing the cast net videos.
Well, I had been saying I was going to make one of those videos for a very, very long time. And I was always afraid to do it because I thought as soon as I try to make it, I won't be able to throw it. But
that's the beauty of editing.
Well, luckily, I didn't have to do a lot of editing.
It didn't look like it. Looked like it was all in the same take. I didn't. It looked like it was nice.
So they were all the same take, and then I had Tilly move over to get the one where I was throwing at her. You know what I mean? So I actually threw them each one twice, but I mean they never look as good when you're not throwing them in the water. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, they bounce.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I know I watched a lot of videos to learn how to do it, and it helped me a lot. So I just felt like we're doing this stuff, and we should at least make a video like that for people to watch and show how we do it. So
no matter how many no matter how many videos are out there, whether it's tying hooks, throwing cast nets, putting out planer boards, there's a different, everyone has just a little bit of different spin on things. And so there's never, I don't think there's ever too many videos out there to show somebody. Cause like you can watch Hagen Grubbs throw a cast net. I ain't putting the net in my mouth. Not doing
Or
it.
on the shoulder. I don't want to be wet.
Or over the shoulder. Yeah. To wear the daggone thing before I throw it. I was out this morning. I threw the cast net quite a few times, and the fish were in the lily pads and swamp, nasty stuff. And my boat was trashed.
Yep. I got that brand new cast net, that Betts cast net.
Yeah.
I love that thing already. But the very first fish I caught in that was a little bitty channel cat, and I've already got a hold on it from trying to get that catfish out of that net.
Really?
It wrapped around every spine 65,000 times. And I bet it took me 20 minutes to get that one little channel cat out of there.
Now, I don't know how the thickness is on that. Yours was a mullet net, right?
Yeah.
See, I throw the Bet Super Pro, and that thing is tough. You're not. I doubt you tore a hole in it if it's the same thickness.
It may not be. That mullet net may be a little bit lighter. It's really super pliable, and I mean it throws easier than my 7-foot net. That's for sure.
Yeah. Zach got me hooked on the Bet Super Pro nets, and man, for the money they are low expensive. I won't lie, but I'll be honest. I probably would go through 3 to 5 nets a year on average. And now I buy one. On average, I can get a whole year out of a net.
After that day, we threw the net down there on the Ohio, and we spent 45 minutes picking 2-inch shad out of that 5/8 mesh. I was like, that's it. We're getting a 1-inch mesh net. So that doesn't happen. I mean, I get it. We're still going to get fish caught in them, but they're going to be bigger fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the hope, anyway.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I don't know about scary stories, but I got one night I was totally freaked out when I was out in the water.
All right.
And I'll share it with you. It was last summer. Nice warm summer evening, clear. I'm always out fishing by myself. I had pulled way back up into a cove. Nice, quiet, dark. Can't see nothing. And I was fishing there for about a half hour. I was anchored before I had a spot. I think this was, I don't know why I was anchored, but I was anchored. And all of a sudden I heard like a splash, not like a splash, like somebody jumped off a cliff, did a double gainer back flip, and went into the water. And I was like, what the heck is that? And I got my spotlight out, and I'm looking around. I can't hear it. I can't see nothing. And then I hear this big splash on the other side of me again. Even closer. I tried looking for that. I'm looking on the hills and stuff because the sides of the cove weren't too far apart, you know, so I'm maybe 20 feet away from each side of the boat. And man, this went on for probably 8 or 10 splashes before I grabbed that anchor and pulled it up and hightailed it out of there. I have no idea. My best guess is it was beavers, and they were pissed off that I was in there, and they were slapping their tails, but I don't see how they can slap their tails that hard.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, I was like, I'm a 60-year-old man, and I'm over here going to pull up my anchor and leave because I'm scared of a splash in the water. But I was waiting for like octopus tentacles to come up over the side of the boat or something. It was bad. I was like, man, I haven't gone back up in that cove since.
James, it's funny you bring that story up because that is almost similar to me and Telly. Only ours is broad daylight. We were up in the Great Miami River, and I'm pretty sure it was during the winter blues. We had anchored up, and we were sitting there, had lines casted out, and we were a good 30 yards off the bank. And the bank that we were closest to was one of those real high cutout, just dirt banks. There wasn't any rocks or anything like that. It was just a dirt bank. But, I mean, you had to look up to see where the grass and the trees were.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting there. We'd been sitting there 15 minutes or more. And if you can imagine what a basketball-sized rock would sound like landing right behind the boat, that's what we heard. But neither one of us were looking when it happened. It was back behind the boat, and we didn't see it hit the water. All we heard was the noise, and when we turned and looked, you could see the ripples, and we were like, "Where did that come from?" You know, it didn't.
This was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm out there. It's like no way. I was thinking maybe it could have been somebody throwing rocks off the ledges, but I'm thinking the area I was at, there's nobody out there in those woods like that. Not at that time in the morning. And I was just like, I'm telling you, to this day, I still it gives me the willies.
That was a Stan 3 said, sounds like Bigfoot to me. That's the first thing I said to Charlie.
Could have been a Bigfoot too. Who knows? But
I said, if he steps in the water, we'll throw the anchor rope in because we're leaving.
Yeah, I was like, it's okay. I'm going to go. You don't need to do anything else. It was spooky.
I had a story like that, and it was beaver. It took me a long time to figure it out, but I was fishing underneath a bridge, and I was on the bank, and I heard these big splashes. And I was convinced. I mean, I was 100% certain somebody was up on the bridge and they were throwing bricks off the top of the bridge. Yeah. To the point that I yelled at them and threatened them that I'm coming up there until I eventually, because I had an old Coleman lantern, you know what I mean? I didn't have a big spotlight or flash. I had a Coleman lantern. I'm trying to hold it and block my eyes and everything. Like, what the hell? And I finally saw it. It was a daggone beaver. And
I had a good spotlight, and I was shining. And like I said, I'd look on this side, and they'd go over there. I'd look over there, and they'd be over here. And I'm like, I never saw nothing. That's what bothered me. If I could have seen some ripples or something, nothing. So and I'm thinking, I'm a 60-year-old man, and I'm going to run out of this cove like a coward.
Now, this was another story that happened with me and Telly. Actually, it was me, Telly, and my daughter. And I think this was before we even started YouTube. There's a military base here. It's called Atterbury Fishing, Atterbury Fish and Wildlife, but it's mostly military, but there's state stuff. It's just 15 minutes away, but there's a bunch of different lakes there, and one of the lakes, coincidentally, it's called Beaver Bottom, but it's got a really nice L-shaped dock. You walk way out onto the water, and then it turns to the right, and you can sit out there and fish off of it and everything. So we decided to go out there and do some channel cat fishing at night. So when you pull in, I mean, it's out in the middle of nowhere. And when you pull into the lot, you drive down this little one-lane road into the parking lot. And then from the parking lot, you walk out onto the dock. And it's surrounded by fish and wildlife area. There are no houses or anything around there. And we've been sitting out there for hours fishing. It had to be 11:30-ish, maybe midnight. And we were just sitting there talking, and all of a sudden we started hearing a noise behind us, which would have been on the other side of the parking lot in the woods. Mm-hmm. And the only thing that we can associate the noise we were hearing with was a bear huffing. And there's no bears.
Yeah, see? Well, we got bears out here. There was one other time I was fishing down in the gorge at Nickajack, and I heard this crash, bang, boom, coming, and a giant rock had broken loose from way up high and was tearing through the woods, coming down, and it came down about 200 yards in front of me and hit the water. But it was like, I'm talking like a massive boulder, but I was going, man, it sounded like something coming through the trees. I'm like, what the heck is that? And then I'm thinking, man, I'm just thinking, if I was 200 yards down there, I wasn't too far off the bank. You just never know.
Yeah. Well, the bad thing about us, hearing what we thought sounded like a bear, I had to walk towards that sound to get to the truck.
Well, I carry a gun with me just for just such an occasion. But still, I even had that, and I was just going, man, I'm gonna have to either shoot something or I'm out of here. And I find it hard to believe that a beaver could slap the water and make it sound as loud as it was. It
telling
sounded like me doing a cannonball off the boat, just kaboosh.
I've been walking to my deer stand in the morning before and had a beaver slap the water in the creek next to where I hunt, and it'll scare the bejesus out of you. But
yeah.
that noise we heard that day, never one time did I think that was a beaver. That sounded like a huge rock being thrown into the water.
Yep. Yeah, they're incredibly strong. It's unreal how hard they flip over. They barrel roll. They flip over and they whack. They hit it with the back top side of the tail.
If they were trying to scare me out of there, it worked. I left. It only took them about 20 minutes of harassing me, and I was like, man, this ain't even worth it. I'm out of here.
Yeah, here we go. Backlash Fisherman said he had a beaver attack his kayak, and his tail broke one of his fishing rods.
Man, yeah, that's
Ooh,
okay.
I don't know what you did to deserve that.
Did you see what Backlash said?
Yeah, that's what he was just reading.
A10 Warhol crashed 200 yards from your boat in the river and pick up the pilot as he ejected parachute into the river bayou. That is, I don't care who has a story after that. You're not beating that.
Yeah, I can't beat that.
Holy
Yeah,
crap.
we get those A10s. Those A10s fly over here all the time. They going over here to Atterbury and doing all their maneuvers and stuff.
Benoit says deer season.
My story might not sound that spooky, but I'll tell you what, it had the hair standing up on my arms. I was serious. I was seriously spooked. It was crazy.
Oh, I'll get to that one, Stan. I've done that. Benoit Fishing says deer season during the rut, hauling the boat, the scariest story ever. Well, we're waiting on it. You guys got a link. Actually, the link's pinned at the top of the chat for anybody who'd like to come up on panel and share a story with us. These are some good stories here.
Stan 3 says, I had a scary time launching my boat after I installed the steering wheel. Took off and the steering wheel was reversed.
I did the exact same thing when my steering broke. If it's a racket pinion system, if you put it upside down, if you put it on the other way, it'll turn opposite.
I'm not laughing at you, Stan. I'm laughing with you.
No, he's laughing at you. You can laugh with you if you've done it, and I've done it. Yeah, I got some crazy stories during deer hunting during the rut. I'm sure, Chris, you do too. I know you deer hunt as well.
I've got a whole bunch more stories about deer. Actually, and every one of my stories happened in Atterbury. Every one of them, except for the rock throwing thing that Telly and I had encountered.
She's going to make me eat my words. There's Jody. She made time for us. Welcome, Jody. I know you got some stories. You're out in crazy times of the day and night.
She could tell about the guy who came out of the woods with the blanket on him in the rain.
Yeah. I was flying around on my broom, and I thought I'd come down and land and tell a story.
Oh, okay. All right.
The one James is talking about, people have probably heard it before, but I was out doing my show, and it ended at 2 o'clock. And it was kind of foggy, and so I was making my way back. I was down below Wattsbar Dam, and I was making my way back to the ramp, and I was listening to something on YouTube and had headphones in, so I wasn't really aware of my surroundings, right? Well, I pull up to the ramp, and I'm tying off, and all of a sudden, this guy comes out of the woods in a white sheet, and I yell, and I'm like, it scared me, so I said a few things, and I'm like, screamed and stuff, and then he started walking towards me, and I'm like, well, wait a minute. I said, stop where you're at. Next thing I know, he's on the ramp walking towards me, and I said, stop where you're at. I don't know you. I'm scared. Don't come any closer. And he says, this is what the killers always say, right? I know you. You're that catfishing lady. I knew you'd be in at 2 o'clock. Don't worry. I won't hurt you.
Shit.
If I had little dog ears, they would have been sticking up at that point. And I'm like, do not get on my boat. He just walked right on my boat, took the rope out of my hands, and demanded my phone. And
when
he
did
said,
you call
I need
me?
your phone. Well, he tried calling, texting somebody. He's like, go on and get your truck. And I said, I'm not going nowhere without my phone. I'm not leaving you down here without my phone. He said, no, go on and get your truck. And I'm like, no way. Because I knew he would get in the truck with me. And I said, I'm not going anywhere without this phone. So he handed it back to me. When I walked up there, I called James to come down. And I stayed up there with the truck till James got there before I went back down and get my boat. And James went down there and talked to him.
I'm like, get the fuck. He goes, I don't mean, it's all good. It ain't all good. Get out of here, dude. You scared the piss out of her. And frankly, you're scaring me. Yep. He's like, oh, well, my friends left me here and I'm stranded. It's pouring rain and you're coming out of the woods in a sheet? Get out of here. He goes, well, I don't even want to hear it. Just leave.
Must be something about them Tennessee guys, because Telly had that.
It was weird. It was weird, though. He was really.
Well, we launched
real early. I was telling
Jody,
do you have your gun? I didn't have my gun. It was in the car.
We launched real early in the morning down there at Sixth Creek, and there was a car parked at the boat ramp. And I mean, we saw the car there, but I didn't pay any ball. I was backing the boat and stuff in. I paid no attention to it. I just knew there was a car there. And we backed it in. Kelly finished backing me in. I took the boat off. She pulled the truck up, parked it, came back, was walking back. And when she walked back by the car, she noticed there was somebody sitting in it. So she thought, well, I'll just be nice and wave or say anything, But when she looked into the car, the guy had a mannequin head, all makeup and hair done and everything in the passenger seat.
That's normal.
She looked over and saw it. She went, nope, and took off coming down to the boat ramp.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's some, you never know anymore. There's some crazy people out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was probably my scariest story, but my spookiest was I was sitting in this back bend, a real sharp bend in the river.
Yeah.
And the water was all flat because it was late in the night, and it was complete darkness. There wasn't no moon or nothing out, no houses. And I'd probably been sitting about an hour, and all of a sudden, something hit the back of my boat. It's like a big log hit it or something. And it's flashing real bad, and I got flashed so bad, I was up on the couch, and it was soaking me. And it went on, and I was like 32 foot deep with a live bluegill down. That hook and bluegill was laying in my boat. I don't know what hit it or what happened, but it scared the crap out of me.
Your bait was 32 feet deep and it ended up inside your boat?
Yep. I don't know what it was.
That's some weird stuff.
I know.
You didn't do some crazy stuff in your sleep, did you?
No, I thought I had a gator, like a gator or something, and a log had hit me. I mean, it was. I never saw such a commotion.
Hey, Jody, Stan 3 said the guy in the sheet must have been the guy that cleaned the fire ring.
No, I'm telling you, that guy was weird. 2 o'clock in the morning, coming out of the bushes in a sheet in the rain.
Oh boy.
I didn't mean to scare her. I said, I don't care what you meant to do. Get out of here.
I mean,
leave.
Who approaches a woman at 2 o'clock in the middle of the night?
Bugman says, I ain't fishing with none of you guys.
I don't blame him.
But I've been out in the water, and it looked like a mermaid jumping out, I've been out in all these waters with all these big things, and it's very scary sometimes of a night when these big fish are jumping out of the water and you don't know what they are. I come to realize they're sturgeon.
Really?
Yeah.
There's something all right.
What made me realize it was sturgeon, I saw one at the dam doing it, jumping up out. Like a dolphin or something. Just jumping up and going back in. But they're massive, whatever they are.
Yeah, it can get real spooky out there at night. And one of the things that I never realized until we started going out on the boat at night, when you shine a light out there across the water, you don't really see very far at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there to illuminate. So
Lisa says she still likes the curtain story, James, against Jody.
Oh well, no, well that's not a fishing story, but Jody believes in ghosts. I can tell you that. I know she does. Go ahead, Jody.
I was pranking James, and I hid, and so I went and hid in the shower. Well, I figured he'd go looking for me. He's like, oh, she's gone, whoopity-doo-dah. And so he goes in the bathroom and starts to get in the shower, and I'm like, oh, crap, I better do something. So I jerk the shower curtain back, and I go, and I scare him, right?
Boo! It just scared the piss out of me. So I told her, I go, that's it. I have to retaliate.
I die laughing. I've been over in half. My side's hurting. Well, a couple weeks later, the room I stay in, the curtain started moving and opening up. And he's like, I think the house is possessed. I think, he's got his mom's ashes there. I think my mom's possessed in the house. I'm like, okay. He said, just a bunch of weird stuff's happening, like the curtains are coming open or stuff will be moved.
Things are moving all around the house. I don't know what it is. I go, I don't know. Have you seen anything weird? She's like, no, not really. And then she'd go in the room, and I go into my room, and I had a fishing line ran through the wall to the curtain.
Hey.
So I'd pull it real slow and open the whole curtain totally up. And she's all like, huh. I mean, that would have scared the piss out of me. But so she didn't really freak out. So I did the other one. On the other wall, I ran it through the kitchen and got that. And then she was done. I finally got her. She was laying there, had her head right underneath that curtain. I slung that thing open real hard. And she was like, what? She comes running out of there. I'm like, what? What? She's like, I'm trying not to laugh. She's like, there's a curtain moved. I swear to God, I was just laying there, blah, blah. And I go, you're crazy. What are you talking about? We got it off, and she goes, I can't go back in that room. And I was like, I better come clean.
Yeah, we.
So I said, go back in there. I'll show you. Oh, she was.
I hadn't heard that one. That's pretty good.
We saw it demonstrated.
It was good though. Yeah, Jody was a little mad at that one.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi.
She just come back from the trunk or treat.
Yep, I set that up for. It took me like 2 weeks to set that up completely, and boy, it worked good.
I love the commitment. That
it was really cool.
The biggest.
That's what I'm saying. You don't want to play. Don't play.
Yeah.
I'm the best at that. I'm dedicated.
I just took it easy on you because I thought you'd take a heart attack.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
yeah, I'll tell you what, I would have been a little more freaked out if I was her, to tell you the truth. But she was just like, that last time I got her, though, bad. I think the times before she kind of thought, did that curtain move? No, I couldn't have moved. Did it move? That last time she was right there by it and watched it right over her head. It was classic.
See, I don't watch anything scary or anything like that. That way I don't have to worry about getting spooked while I'm out by myself.
Yeah. Hey, Austin, what are you doing, buddy? I missed you last night. I got to go back and catch it.
But that's the other good thing about being out there on the boat at night or even during the day. And if you do hear or see something that's way up on the bank, you're out there in 30 feet of water or better. It ain't coming out there. And if it does, you got more than enough
time to get away.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you
I'm
what,
afraid a bear's going to climb in. That's the only thing I'm afraid of. A bear's going to crawl in the boat.
I think it. I think it'd take a minute for a bear to get up to your boat and get in it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I think. How about anybody been out in heavy fog where you can't see nothing? That's pretty eerie.
That is real scary.
This last weekend,
I had to use Navonics to get back to the boat ramp. And I mean, just putting along, crawling along. And I was like 10 feet from the boat ramp, it said, and I still couldn't see it.
Yep.
But I got all the way back due to Navonics. Otherwise, I would have never made it back. There was no way. But you couldn't see nothing. I waited for hours because I figured it would lift. It didn't lift.
Yeah, we were out there one morning, and it was so bad you couldn't see the water next to the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we was in some real bad fog last week. Skip and I was making our way up the bank. We was trying to hang real tight, and I was like, "Man, you're too close to the bank, man. The water's too low." About that time, he hit a bunch of rocks, and he reached for the throttle to back, to yank it back, but we hit a rock and it threw his balance off and he fell on the throttle instead and floored it.
Oh no.
Yep, that old tracker went for a ride.
And fog is so disorienting. You could be in an area you know really, really good, and you're totally off. You're not where you thought you were.
Yeah, we could have swore we was going straight, and we was doing circles.
Yep.
What's up, Stan 3?
Hey, what's going on? I don't know if my audio or anything's good or not. I was trying to give this a shot. I got like 2%
Sounds
battery.
good.
Yeah, your audio's good, buddy.
All right, so I'll try to make it quick. I had a really spooky story. I was in my kayak out at the ocean. I was fishing these ships and everything, and I had the Uncle Lou light. You know how it puts like a circle? Like if you're in pure darkness, whatever, that light's gonna make a circle. You really can't see outside of that circle.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I hear something massive. I don't know. It's probably a dolphin, but your brain's thinking it's a whale or a shark or something, and you can't see anything else. You're just floating up. You see complete darkness, and all of a sudden a big wave. And then complete darkness, and all of a sudden you're just hearing these noises around the outside of you. That's probably the scariest time I've had on the water.
Yeah, that's a justifiable fear. I mean, like, you could be in a life and death situation depending on, that's the ocean.
Yep.
There
literally could have been a monster. Yeah, I don't know.
We've only explored 3% of the ocean. We know more about outer space than we do our own ocean. They've only explored like maybe 3% of the ocean. There's stuff out there that's going to get
some
you.
Spooky stuff. Those sturgeon are pretty scary too on the kayak, though. It's like what Jody was talking about. Those things jump.
One of y'all out there, was it you or Dan that had one land on the kayak?
It was Dan.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's scary. Else. It's about the same kind of scariness as in that nighttime with the light here, because you don't know where it is. All of a sudden, it could just be knocking you out upside your head. You know the thing's bigger than your boat.
Another thing that'll scare the tarnation out of you at night on the river is a barge.
Yeah.
We were out there on the Ohio, and we were spot locked, and it's pitch black. There's a barge coming down the river. We had no idea. And those barge captains some of them are good. They know exactly where they need to be, and they don't blow their horn at you if they know you're not in their way. So this guy never made a noise. He was 4 or 5 barges long, so we couldn't hear him. Those barges get up there, they're silent. And we just happened to look over, and that barge, it seemed like it was close enough to touch with a fishing pole. I'm sure it wasn't that close, but it was very, very close, and we had no idea it was there until you look over and see it.
So I've got a really good story along that lines. I was just getting into river fishing. I had just gotten out of I just started getting rid of all my pay late gear, right? So I'm going to tell on myself and had pay late gear. And we had a lot of current at the dam, and I was anchored up on an anchor at the end of the lock wall. And like you said, you can't hear those barges, even coming through a lock, you can't hear them. And we were sitting right on the edge of it, and the barge started coming out, and it started washing us towards him. And there was nothing I could do to stop that thing from swaying towards the barge. There were guys on top of the barge with lights yelling at the captain, "There's a boat down here. There's a boat." My rod was 11 feet long, sticking straight out the side. It started running down the barge. I was scared to death. So I fired up the motor and put it in gear. And I'm like, I don't care what rods, I don't care what's going on. I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And I floored it, and I ran up over my anchor rope. And now the rope spun me around backwards, and I didn't go very far. And so now I'm swaying like crazy in the current with this barge just barely out of reach of my rods. And that is the most scared I have ever been in my life. Water not water, any. That is the most scared I've ever been, ever. I had my little brother with me, and it was terrible. Bad. My boy Eric says, Jody can remember when that fish scared me. Do you want me to tell the story? Uh-oh. You're more welcome. Come on in, buddy. Chrissy Brown says the spookiest story is letting Ernie drive, whether it's in the car, truck, or the boat. After the last 2 days, I need a long vacation. I'm not sure what Ernie did to get all that, but Curtis Cunningham, welcome in. Don Long, welcome in. Thank you for stopping by. We're just shooting the breeze, telling some scary stories and chasing ghosts and all that good stuff.
I got one more story, then I'm going to jump down.
All right, Jody.
It was the first night I'd ever been to Chattanooga. I went to the gathering. I went early, and no one was there. And I did my show, and I brought the people who was fishing with me into the dock. And they're like, well, Daryl said to load you up. And I'm like, what do you mean Daryl said load you up? He said to load you up on your trailer and put you out of the water. I'm like, I ain't going nowhere. I come here to fish. I'm going back out. And they're like, that's not what Daryl said. Daryl said. I said, I don't care what Daryl said. It's my boat. I'm going out. And so I told them bye. And I went back out, and I went up to the nuclear plant. And I cast it out, and I caught some fish. And then it was about 4 o'clock. I finally went to sleep. Well, about 6:30, I woke up. Something, I don't know what it was, woke me up. But when I looked up, one of them huge cranes was on my boat by the bait, like 3 foot in front of my face. I went to screaming my head off. I mean, what would you think if you woke up and saw that big thing in your face? He must have thought I was dead or something and was eating my bait. And when he went to flopping his wings and taking off, about that time, my drag starts peeling. And so that made me scream. And I caught my first 50-pounder that morning. And it was like 52 pounds. It was the happiest I've been, because I spent weeks trying to, out in the water trying to catch big fish, and that was my first one. But that bird scared me to death.
I see you, Jody.
I'm sure the bank fisherman's got stories of people creature, I can't even say, creatures coming up on them.
What do you got for
Hey,
us?
Rod.
Hey, what's up, Stan? Oh no.
Is that Fernando?
Is that Fernando?
Yeah, it looks like the
Right.
Zorro.
What's up, buddy?
I have the video loaded up if you want me to push play.
All right, give me a second.
Now you can see it in the camera.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anybody see Austin's new short he put out? He falls out with that chair. If I would have fell out with a chair like that, I would have broke something.
Is that Jackie?
No.
Looks like Daryl.
Is it Daryl?
I think it's Eric.
No, not
That
Daryl.
glasses
Not me.
No, it's
I'm back here.
Eric's on the next screen.
Oh.
Could be.
It's Austin.
Got a
Oh,
Daryl
Oh,
hat.
that's Stan too, and a sturgeon.
And we bought a project boat yesterday, and it had big, huge decals of sturgeon on both sides. I sent it to Stan.
Don't fish alone.
Yeah.
Don't fish alone. Got it? Got it.
I never do. I always have my brother.
I watch you at night.
It's a kookaburra, whatever that thing's called.
A Cuba Chabra. Goodness gracious, Kookaburra. A Koopa barrel.
I think he is going for Undertaker. Oh, okay. I like the Undertaker.
It's the understander.
That's a little spooky right there.
See, I was right. That's scarier. Put the mask
Yeah,
back
oh
on.
God, put the mask back on.
All right, Eric, what do you got for us?
All right, this was 2 years ago. It's live on one of my YouTube live out fishing with my brother. Let me hit the play button. If you want to say that way, y'all can be mute it too, so you don't have to do it. Did you guys see that?
What was that? A bunch of bugs?
Oh, that wasn't bugs.
Looked like water.
Yeah, it was water.
What was it?
It was a fish that jumped right beside us in the boat.
That was a big splash.
Jody ought to show her one where she runs up on the rocks in her pontoon boat. Oh man, I can't believe
That
she
was
didn't sink
scary.
it.
I thought I was taking a shortcut.
Shortcut into the rocks.
All right, everybody, I'm going to bed before you give me nightmares.
All right, Chris, thanks for coming up and sharing with us. It was fun.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
No, but we were out there fishing one night, and we were with John and Becca, and he just said put her on full screen, and that fish splashed up beside her. Scared the crap out of me because you're not expecting that, and then water splashing on you.
Yeah, nope.
Jody was in chat because Curtis said he wanted to give her the hammer.
Austin says that's what the stands put me in when they show me a new spot. You got to figure out how to drop a pin on your phone without anybody noticing.
I'm going to jump down, but if I find that video, I'll send it to you, Roger.
Okay.
The one where you run up on the rocks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bye.
I'm telling you, I can't believe she didn't sink her boat.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jody.
That was a scary video. She sent that to me with her. You could see the huge boulder. Boom, 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 boom.
She's like cruising along in the dark, and you could see maybe 10 feet in front of the boat because you got the lights on, and you see, and then all of a sudden you see this like yellowish, it's like a different color and yellow, and you look and it's big rocks, and she goes, bam, just plowing right up on them.
That was
Camera got it good though. You could see it really good through the camera.
I think it was
she was taking her shortcut.
I think it was like 2 years ago, and we were doing the Epic, the benefit for Epic that night, and we had the rods hanging out of the back of the boat, and we were just going along the bank and stuff. And all of a sudden, the one bait must have been just dribbling across the top of the water. Something hit that so hard, scared the crap out of us.
No kidding.
No kidding. Yeah.
Bobby says I pulled up on the bank under some trees, was full of water snakes. I grabbed a limb and shook it. About 20 snakes landed in the boat. It was gone.
Oh, heck no. That's not for me.
I'll pass on that.
Snakes don't bother me too much, but 20 of them in my boat, that's too much.
Yeah. I don't even care if it's 20 garter snakes. That
Yeah.
I'm fine with snakes, but yeah, you get 20 of any of them together, and that's not good.
Stan, that boat I sent you, it said Ohio Sturgeon Chasers.
Oh, really?
I'll show you a picture of the windshield. I didn't even know the windshield said that. I'm like, what? Who in Ohio is chasing sturgeon?
That's a long drive as far as I know.
They said, Jackie just walked in the door and said, me. She's trying to steal the boat from me. She said she's going to turn it into a mermaid boat. She's going to paint it all purple and blue and pink. And
mermaids are not nice.
What kind of boat is it?
It's a 18-foot Starcraft.
Real pretty.
The interior has been redone. It's blue, but I think I'm going to use it for a little bit. My boat, that floor is only 4 years old, but I've had a couple bad spots already. I think I'm going to try to swap everything over to this other boat and use it for the winter while I tear my boat down again. And I'm going to go all aluminum floor.
Now, when you say aluminum floor, you don't mean like the bottom of the boat, like when you go through to the water. You're talking about just what you put in above the deck of the boat.
Yeah, just the flooring.
Okay, yeah. I thought you were talking maybe you're going through the bottom of the boat.
No, the bottom and everything is all still good, but I put a floor in about 4 years ago, and I didn't use well. You can't use treated wood on aluminum; it'll oxidize. It'll actually pit it.
Yeah,
but you can use marine grade wood. Well, the marine grade wood was like, I can't remember. It's like $100 a sheet.
Yeah,
and but you could take regular wood and treat it, and so that's what I did. I painted it with oil-based paint and treated it. I put it in. It's only been in about 4 years, and I've already got 2 soft spots. One of them I had to replace already, and so I decided, you know what? I want to go all aluminum. There you go, Stan.
Yeah, Roger's got to have a heavy duty boat for that big extreme bait tank he's got in there.
It only goes in about 50% of the time. I don't even have it in right now. I took it out today, actually, because we got a vet trip tomorrow with Vets with Nets, and there's going to be 3 of us on the boat, so I didn't want to tie up any extra room.
That's awesome.
Stan 3, you should come back up and tell that story.
His battery's dead on his phone. Tell him about the time we heard the Bigfoot when we went fishing in the state land. Uh-oh. V says Chris and I were fishing, and a giant fireball lit up the freaking night like it was daytime. Wow. It's an asteroid.
When I was a kid, the one time when I was a kid, we were fishing. We were catfishing Little Pond. There's about, I don't know, 3 or 4 of us. I say kid, like young teenager. We were catfishing nighttime, and it was a cold, dark night. It was a cold, dark night, and we look off, and there's trees through the thing, and about must have been, it started out maybe about 125 feet away. It was like this figure, like a ghostly, like foggy figure, and we're like, at first, you see something, you're like, it's just. And so we were fishing, so we just let it go, and we're getting bites and stuff. We look back up, and it's about 20 foot closer by another tree. And so we're still fishing, and now you start watching, and then you start seeing it move and stuff. And so we're still fishing, and it came probably about 50, 60 feet closer than what it was. We were catching a fish, we caught a fish, and we all looked back up trying to find it, and it was gone. Like there was nothing there after that. But yeah, for this like 15, 20 minutes, you saw this white figure getting closer and closer. That was pretty spooky.
Just playing that red light, green light with you.
Yeah, yes, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. It's crazy.
Every time you look up, it's closer.
The time of night that most of us spend out on the water or on the bank or on the water or near the water. That's crazy how many different stories you hear, and crazy stuff can happen.
That Bigfoot one, we think that was whether you believe Bigfoot or not Bigfoot, but there's got to be certain animals out there and whatnot. But yeah, we heard we never saw it, but we heard it, and that was pretty freaky too.
Welcome in, Austin. What's up, buddy?
What's up? How's everybody doing?
We're doing
What's up, Austin, the Amish guy?
Hey. I got a couple stories, One of them was I was a teenager, and I was catfishing on the bank, and where I used to do a lot of that, it's way out in the country. There's nobody out there, and I was all by myself. It was like 2 a.m. or whatever, pitch black, and sun travels so clearly through over water. I could hear a tree start to crack, like it was falling, and I couldn't see anything. and all I could hear was this huge tree falling. Right next, it sounded like it was right next to me. And I stood there and one and hoped that it wasn't going to fall on me. But then the next morning, I went and checked the poles, and it ended up being all the way on the other side of the river. But that's how clearly sound travels over water. That was scary.
You broke up on us a little bit, but I think we put the whole story together.
Yeah, I got most of it, but he was breaking up.
Yeah, I
in the middle
thought
of
it was
nowhere.
me at first.
You were a teenager and fishing in the middle of nowhere. You heard this big sound, crack, like a tree, huge tree falling. You ended up going back the next day, and it turned out it was all the way on the other side of the river.
Well, thank you, Stan, for your translation.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't know I was breaking up.
You're still breaking up.
I am.
You know the robot. You know the robot sound.
Yeah. That's weird. I'm on my Wi-Fi. Oh well.
Right now,
sorry.
You sound good now.
It was a good story though.
Okay. Yeah.
It was that fire. That
It would have been
fireball was flying by.
It would have been better if I wasn't breaking up, but yeah.
Yeah, we got it.
There was this past year there was a really scary thing that happened. I wasn't fishing, but I was watching live, and Austin was fishing, and it was somewhere in the beginning of April somewhere. And man, Austin, I thought was on this huge fish, and he's fighting it, and you're looking in the background, you can't see any lights. I'm trying to figure out, and man, it's just this. All of a sudden, Austin gets one final yank, and Rebel River Cats was up in the boat.
Yep. Yeah, that was the good April Fool's trick. That was good stuff. Good stuff. I thought you were going to talk about that. I went live. I guess it was late winter or whatever, and I'm looking at this barge, and it's coming down the river, and I'm thinking the whole time, there's no way I'm in his way, And he's blowing the horn, but there's other boats out there, so I don't know who he's blowing the horn at. And I'm thinking he's got plenty of room. And then at the last minute, I'm like, nah, it's me. He's blowing through me. And I got out of the way, but man, that was a lot closer than I would like to admit. Yeah, whatever. But I heard y'all talking about barges earlier, and that is pretty nerve wracking.
Well, and then there was that other scary story where this other boat was coming right at you, and it turned out okay. Only broke an FOA rod, but
yeah, almost broke the FOA.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
and then there was that time where me and Stan 3 hit the buoy, and the FOA rod went into the eye of the buoy.
That was pretty scary too. Yeah,
that was terrifying.
Yeah, we.
How about that time Stan 3 was up here earlier, and it reminded me. My wife and I were fishing. And it was the middle of the night, blah, blah, blah. And, we were just sitting there talking. And then all of a sudden, like I could hear, I don't know if I heard like a little noise or something, but I looked behind me and there's this just pitch black silhouette of a man on a kayak, but he's right next to my boat. that scared me pretty good. I think I said a couple choice words. And
it was me. It was me on the kayak.
It was Stan 3, and then we started calling him SEAL Team Fish because he was so good at sneaking up on people.
Hey, Austin.
Yeah.
So I was majorly impressed with your short today, where you go flying over the chair, because I'd be in traction if I did that.
Yeah, it was a hard fall for me too, but it was fun.
Well worth it. Well worth it. If it gets more than 10,000 views, well worth it.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't get it.
And the chair's okay. The chair's perfectly fine.
That's the main part.
Yeah, it really is, because my wife bought me that chair for my birthday. So.
Well, I just seen why Bobcat didn't make it on tonight. He just posted a bunch of fish in the boat between him and Brandon.
Yeah.
There you go.
The nerve of some people. nervous, some people, going out and catching big fish rather than coming up here.
That's
No,
right.
you know where he's at. He's out there sore lipping all the fish in Jody's spot.
Oh, of course. That's right. There's another tournament this weekend. Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
I
weekend.
thought they were. I thought they were all Daryl's spot.
Yeah, well,
James.
they're
Well,
ultimately all Daryl's spot. He has them all
They are.
marked and stuff.
It depends on if you ask Daryl or not. That's the.
Well, it's every place between, Watts Bar Dam and Nickajack, the bottom of Nickajack. Everything is his.
Every place between the East Coast and the West Coast.
Nobody would ever thought to fish any of these spots except for him.
Yeah, nobody knows how to read in avionics but Daryl.
Yeah, but Daryl, so. And that fallen tree that you were fishing, he knocked that tree down 2 years ago just for that spot.
Yeah, he leaned up against
Probably
it
right.
and scratched his back.
Yep.
A couple weeks ago when we was down there fishing Watts Bar and fishing all that neck down there, we was bumping Nickajack. And I've got an idle issue with my boat. It idles high for, like a minute or two. And then it calms down and you can put it in gear and all that. And then I just been putting it off. Well, we was done bumping. We bumped the pass and it was pitch dark. And we started reeling everything in. And I was letting the motor idle while we was putting everything away. Well, I completely lost track of how far we had gone. And next thing I know, bam, big crash and big, bong sound. Here we smacked right into a buoy.
Oh,
I've gotten pretty close to it.
Oh, it T-boned me right in the side. Pow! I was like, oh my God.
I'm out.
I saw Stand 3 hit a buoy one time. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, luckily he didn't mess anything up, but he had just gotten a new fish finder and was looking at that fish finder and was just focused on it. And then all of a sudden, Dustin and I were over there fishing and you just hear bang. And then like 5 minutes later, he rides by and he says, "Did y'all see me hit that buoy?" I heard it.
I like 922's story. It says scariest time fishing was at Lake Belden, Texas, camping first year on the post in the Army post. Didn't know that this area was on the edge of a firing range for howitzer training.
Yeah.
He was catching fish, having a good time. All of a sudden, all heck broke loose. I thought they were aiming at me.
Hey, there's SEAL Team Fish.
There he is. Yeah, I'm glad you told the story for me, or I was staring at the fish finder. I was going to say that story.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, my bad.
No, it's fine. I hit mine straight on. I didn't get T-boned or nothing. I was just so focused on looking down at the graph.
Well,
Boom.
speaking of running into things, son, you got that other funny story about the kayak and the guy fishing where you catch your bait.
That was pretty funny. I was out fishing all night long, and I finally got the trolling motor on the kayak.
yeah.
So you can kind of just like kick back and almost like cruise control, almost autopilot. Well, I fell asleep, and that thing's still just motoring up the river. Well, I woke up crashing into the bank. I didn't bow right up to the damn bank. Well, first thing I see, I open my eyes. There's some dude on the bank, like, had to crash right underneath him fishing. He never, like, tried to, hey, wake up. No, he just let me crash. And the funny thing, I see that guy at the river, like, every week. He's always there. Same guy.
Maybe he
like,
thought you were dead.
I don't know what he thought. He's probably laughing his butt off.
He's hitting the guy next to him. That's him. That's the dude.
What's
that
it?
Yeah.
They're recording it on their phone. Like, this is going viral, man.
Yeah, I guess that was kind of my fault.
Jody found this video here. We'll check it out real quick. This is when she smacks into these rocks, apparently. So we're looking at the front of her pontoon boat as she's moving it through the night.
Yeah, look
There's
right
some
there.
rocks.
Oh, there it is. Oh.
Oh, man. That hurts.
Wow. Oh, man.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Notice
That
how
was a
all
good
of us
hit.
were like, you know how you watch the videos where somebody gets kicked in the...
Yeah.
We all had that same exact reaction.
It's like watching a replay of someone breaking their leg in a football play or something.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Daggone.
Dang, she hit that hard, man.
Bam.
Yeah.
Oh. You got the
No.
earthquake effect going with the camera. And
Note to self: do not let Jody drive my boat.
I don't know how many
apparently that
times
was
you want to
most
see
of
it.
James.
That's enough.
Whew,
Make my
yeah,
stomach hurt.
I'm
Man.
getting ulcers watching that.
So,
About
so
chip a
son,
tooth.
tell the Bigfoot story. Tell the Bigfoot story.
Oh man, here's
I was
another one.
hoping you
Golly.
made the. Oh,
Ah!
my God!
Oh, oh my
No!
goodness.
Don't do that.
Whose feet? Whose feet is that?
A Bigfoot.
Daryl.
Daryl.
That's Daryl.
Daryl's feet. What the crap? I don't even want to know.
Mm,
I think that was
mm, mm.
during the Can You Beat Daryl? I think that was during that.
Yeah. I don't know. That's
That's a good
All
way to
right.
scare some fish.
That was rough.
That
Put
just
him in-
tied for
Yeah,
the
look at
scariest
the fish
live
in
of
the
the year.
aquarium. They're freaking
yeah,
out.
they're all freaking out too. Is that how he's getting his fish? He's just dipping his toes in the water and they float to the top and he puts a hook in one.
There you go.
I'm
They
gonna
all
ask
they all
Ed.
run up. They all run up on the bank, try to grow legs.
Speaking
pretty-
about something on the bank, I have another one about being on the bank. It's kind of with animals or whatever. A heron. I don't know if you ever seen them flying at night or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're kind of spooky looking. Well, I was out there real early. I was trying to catch bait by one of the discharges and everything. And I guess I was in like his prime fishing spot, and he didn't know I was there. And he comes swooping in to try to land, and he didn't realize he was about 2 feet in front of me that I was standing there. And all of a sudden, he does the squawking and all that. But I mean, he was about to hit me, man. He was 2 feet in front of me. It scared the crap out of you. I don't care who you are. You get one of them big birds swoop down on you like that.
Oh yeah, they're gigantic.
That was some pretty horrible sound effects, though, son. Really, I mean,
That's why I wanted you to tell the Bigfoot story.
those herons at nighttime, they will get you. They
sound like a pterodactyl.
yeah, and then
Exactly.
you get the shadow of them coming across. I really do believe that's where a lot of those the stories that you hear of like these monster birds and stuff. I really think a lot of them are herring at nighttime because
Yeah.
if you've never
Probably.
heard one of them at night,
Probably
holy smokes.
that and glasses weren't invented until a certain year. So like imagine all that recorded time before glasses.
Absolutely.
And the legends that were created.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is Burrito, Lisa. Burrito Catfish and Lady Stand 3's scary fishing moment was when 922 beat them.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
have a
I
moment of
still have
silence for Stand
nightmares.
3.
Still
That's
having
rough.
nightmares.
That's rough. Core stand through.
9-2 out of the past like 6 stand days, he's caught fish 5 out of 6 times. So he's on a roll. He's on a roll.
He's doing pretty good.
We could not get service Sunday. I took Magnus out. We was going to try to go live. Dude, we had the best day of fishing I've had in a long time. First fish of the day, Magnus, 5 years old, catches a 27.5-pound fish.
Awesome.
We catch 17 fish that day. Only reeled in 2. Only reeled in 2 because I didn't think they were fish. And one of them was 48.5 pounds.
Nice.
For our neck of the water, for our neck of the woods, that's a real good fish. But
That's good, especially you couple that with 16 other fish. That's a dang good day, man.
yeah, we only had I think 2 fish under 10 pounds, maybe 3 fish under 10 pounds for the whole day.
That's a great day.
Oh man, and at one point we was dragging double hook rigs, right? Daryl's favorite, the Slunger Cat double hook dragging rig. He caught a 14 and a 7 at the same time on the same pole.
That's awesome.
Oh, he
That's
thought it
pretty
was
cool.
a monster. Which I mean, they're both good fish, but man, he went to school. I dropped him off at school. First thing he said when he got out of the truck, I caught 2 fish yesterday. Nothing about the 27 and a half pounder. Nothing about the other 16, 15 fish he caught. It was all about them same 2 he caught at the same time. He was tickled to death.
That's pretty cool. I'd probably be the same way.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we couldn't get live though. It was terrible.
Yeah, sometimes it's like that.
I have another not a, it's not a bad story, but we went fishing when I was a kid. My mother, my father, my sister, and I, in a place called the Bashakill. Now the Bashakill is like it's state land, and it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's got like, if you picture Florida, like down there where like heck, what's it called down there? Like where small water charters and stuff fishes. So you got like little canals that go through, and you've got big, the big
Everglades.
like cabbage that come up, and and there's just spooky stuff all the time, all night through there. Anyways, my sister hooks this thing, and it's a monster, fighting it. Get it to the boat and go lift it up in, and it's like a 4.5 foot long American eel.
Whoa!
So for my mother and sister, that was the scariest night ever of fishing. They made my father go all the way back to the boat ramp. Because she didn't want to let it go. She wanted to land it, but she wasn't bringing it in the boat.
I figured Jeremy would have some good ones from Louisiana down there, man. Get down there in them bayous and talk about
I bet he does.
All that voodoo stuff, and you hear all kinds of stuff down there.
You got the Rugaroo.
He's probably seen the skunk man. He's probably seen the skunk man a few times.
My wife and I got married when I was in the Air Force in Georgia, and we went to on the honeymoon. We were at like a cabin in this lake in Georgia and stuff. So we were out fishing at night, and so all of a sudden she shines the flashlight out on the water, and there's all these eyes coming in. It was like about 44 gators. They were all like closing in. She's like, "I'm gone."
Yeah, I've never had to. We've never had to deal with anything like that. I'm not sure how I would handle myself, but I would probably not stick around very long.
Just stay in the boat.
Everglades, thank you. Yes.
You're making me miss my aquarium up there, Eric.
I know. Have y'all noticed how that one orange one, he's been like looking at the camera the whole time?
I know it.
He like comes center and he'll look right straight at the camera.
Yeah, I can almost imagine that's probably Roger's favorite fishing area. That's his favorite color.
I was going to say that's a fish after my own heart right there.
Well,
this is the camera hog right here.
I thought he was going to name it Daryl as attention seeker outdoors.
Oh, there you
that's
go.
That's a bluegill in there.
It is a bluegill. That's about the only place you can keep him. He's about the same aggressiveness as the cichlids.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised that guy isn't eating.
I've got a pretty scary aquarium. I've got a scary aquarium story.
Hey, Muskrat.
What's up, buddy?
How you doing?
We're doing good, man. We're having a good time tonight. I've enjoyed myself.
Nice.
Hello, Joshua.
Hey, Joshua.
Austin.
By the way, Joshua, your stickers are in the mail finally.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, well, you're welcome. You're welcome. But I've got a scary aquarium story, and it was from before Stand 3 was born.
Oh boy.
I was working at night, and my wife said, "That bass." We had a bass in the aquarium, and that bass bit me today. And I'm like, "Oh, this bass ain't gonna do nothing." And she's like, across the room, and I'm like, look, I'm doing this here, doing that there. So I'm looking, all of a sudden this bass came. It's not gonna hurt, but when you don't expect it and you're just doing it, flung the thing across the room. That was pretty spooky.
That's the one you got to worry about putting your finger in there.
Well, I had a 200-gallon aquarium, and I like to raise African clown knives, and they actually have some crazy teeth that I did not know about because my dad. I got the tank from my dad, and he raised them. He's the one that got me into them. And we used to be able to put the minnows in the water, and they'd come up and take it out of your hand. And they got a big mouth, like a crappie. Well, he finally got so big I couldn't get any more fish. He ate everything. Everything I put in the tank, he ate it. So I took him to Petland. I traded him in and got credit on him. And I took him in a 5-gallon bucket, and the guy at Petland tries to thumb him, puts his thumb in his mouth, and is gushing blood everywhere.
Oh,
Apparently that dude has some nasty teeth all along. Luckily for me, he never got my finger because we tried to feed him with just dropping the bait in there. But yeah, he pulled his hand out of there, pouring blood. He's like, that was a bad idea. I was like, holy crap. Like, I've had that guy for years. I didn't know he had teeth like that.
So did they have to put the fish down like they do a dog, like when it bites a human, like it gets like it's a danger to society now?
No, that fish sold before I left the store.
Wow.
They gave me like a $50 credit for it, and I was like, whatever. I can't buy any more fish because this guy eats everything. I went in the Petland a few days before that, bought 36 feeder goldfish. He ate them all overnight.
Wow.
Overnight. He would look like he had swallowed a softball, but he ate every fish. I was like, that's it. I can't buy any more fish.
That's crazy.
He was Stan, he was 22 inches long. He was 22 inches long. You get a chance, check it out. It's an African clown knife. They are freaking awesome.
Carissa says, Stan, what? Joshua stickers are in the mail? This is even scarier. So, heck is going to freeze over because all the stickers that I owe, they're all in the mail right now. We did it today. Now, next week, the rest of this week and next week, I can start catching up on the shirts that I got to send out to people. So, yeah, that's even scarier.
$10 says Stan sent stickers to the White House.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Trump. Early congratulations, Trump. There's some 2 Stan stickers. Yeah.
Right. If you see our videos, President Trump was holding up a 2 Stan shirt.
Let's make fishing great again.
I don't know if you can see it, but that's an African clown knife.
Yes.
Yep, I know what them are.
Is that what's like the same thing that's in the canals in Florida, right?
Yep.
Or they have something
now?
Now they are because people let them go.
Dang it, Roger.
I got another.
That's one there.
Wow.
Holy moly.
Can't they swim backwards too?
Yes, they can go backwards. Yep,
no
they
thanks.
can swim in reverse.
No, thank you.
What is it?
I just said no thanks.
Yeah,
I had another story,
awesome.
but it's not a fishing one.
What's that?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So this is a hunting one, but this is pretty spooky. So I'm pretty sure everybody who's went hunting before is taking a nap out there in the woods.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is one of the spots I didn't have a tree stand or whatever. I was just hunting on the ground. And I found a nice tree, sit up against and everything like that. I ended up falling asleep. Well, all of a sudden, I don't know how long I was really asleep for, but all of a sudden I get woke up to a cold nose on my cheek, sniffing me, wake me up. I look over and I'm face to face with a red fox.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm just like he's looking at me right in the eye. I'm just slowly reaching for all I had was my knife right there on my waist. I'm just slowly reaching for that. And he just slowly backed up.
So what?
Yeah, literally, I felt the cold nose on my cheek. That's what woke me up.
I see a pattern developing here, Stan. You should stop falling asleep while you're.
That?
But it's so peaceful out in the outdoors.
I'm guilty. I could fall asleep 10 times faster in a tree stand than I can my bed. That's not a lie.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. That sounds like stand 3. You need to just sleep in your bed. That's it. Period.
Yeah,
no outside. No, nothing more.
That's my superpower. I can fall asleep anywhere.
Yes. Yeah. I had.
Joshua, did you have a story for us?
Not really.
Okay.
You got a scary story even without fishing? How
Yes,
about the
Tell,
time when I
tell them
walked
about
up
that
at you
time.
tech on? That was kind of scary.
I was about to say, tell them about that time you met Stan.
You want to talk
Well,
about this guy? This guy right here's got Stan 3 beat. He fell asleep
Oh,
during a monster truck rally
Oh my
Wow.
God.
I've done
at an
that. I
indoor
did that
arena.
when I was a kid.
Get your sleep up.
Get your sleep. You heading to bed, buddy? Yeah. Tell everybody
Yep, I
goodbye.
believe I'm with the kid. I'm about to head to bed myself.
Yeah, I was getting the look. It's
There it is. What's the
bedtime.
meeting?
Yeah.
Back there.
All right. Well, I'm gonna head out.
I think if we're going to
So,
wrap things up, man, I appreciate everybody stopping in and hanging out with us tonight. It was fun. It went by really fast. And the scary stories, it just goes to show you that, being out there in the element at crazy hours that we get out there, you got to keep your head on the swivel.
Yeah, you
But
never
look,
know.
Roger, we're all still, even though all those scary stories, which we thought all this bad stuff was going to happen, we're still here. We made it
Yeah,
through.
that's it. That's it.
by
Unless you
the
did,
by
then you're
the
not here to
by
tell
the
the
skin of our
story.
teeth.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll see you here next Tuesday night. Same cat time, same cat channel. Good night, everybody.
Good
Night,
night.
everybody.
See ya.
Go vote.
That's right. Go,
That's
go.
right.
That's scary now.
Ah!
Oh, we're not
Hey,
done yet.
Roger, you got a piece